Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2027 Sport Boys End of Season Awards.
Aussie, can I get a word,
Chaz!
mate?
Chaz Hogan, how you doing, mate? You coming to the after party?
You let me in, mate.
Don't worry about it, mate. We'll get you in. There you go.
So, Aussie, what are your thoughts on the season?
Yeah, enjoy your night. Thoughts on the season? Well, mate, I tell you what, going back to back, what an achievement that is, right? You know, I mean, we can only be proud of ourselves. We look to next season now, but before that, we enjoy our night.
Who's going to win tonight, mate?
Good season, mate. Cracking stuff. Well done, mate. Who's going to win tonight? Well, I'll tell you what. Alisson Vega, he banged the goals. He played a number of roles for us this year, including out on the wing, and he still scored the goals. I don't want to sort of muddy the waters here. It's a fan award, but I think Vega's got it for me, yeah. Galindo.
Finally, mate, the people want to know who you're wearing.
This is what Sport Boys do, mate. It's what Sport Boys do. Who am I wearing? Lauren Ralph. Apparently she's huge. So yeah, Lauren Ralph. Hello, good evening, and welcome to everybody at home and in the auditorium. Welcome to episode 33 of the World Tour with Sport Boys in Peru. And of course, this is the end of season awards for the 2027 season. It's been a stunning season, back-to-back Peruvian champions. That's something we can all be proud of. And it's the players who are the heroes here. So let's begin the evening by giving them a well-deserved round of applause. Congratulations, guys. But of course, we're not here to clap each other, are we? We're here to give out some prizes. And the first prize tonight is the Golden Pen for the best signing this season. And he didn't cost us anything. He came on a free transfer, but boy, oh boy, was he worth a lot more than that. The winner of the Golden Pen this year is Liasso Liate. And of course, next up, it's the Golden Card awarded to the man with the worst discipline. And this year, with 4 yellows and 1 red, it's Miguel Martinez. Next up, it's the Golden Bullseye awarded to the player with the best pass completion, and with a stunning 91%. This season, it goes to the goalkeeper, Sol Salinas. Next, it's the Golden Spoon, the man that feeds the strikers with the most assists. And this year, with 13 assists coming from right back, it's Ronaldo Andia, everybody. And the awards just keep coming. Next, it's the Golden Anchor, awarded to the man with the best average rating. He is the man we can rely on. And this season, we've already seen him once tonight, but he's back up again. It's goalkeeper Sol Salinas. The next award is the Golden Soother. It goes to the best young player, the baby of the team. And this season, he's one of our own. It's Andreas Placido. We're rapidly coming to the end of the evening, and next up, it's one of the big ones. It's the Golden Boot, awarded, of course, to the top goal scorer this season. We haven't seen him yet tonight, but we all know who it is, with 17 goals. He scores on the left, he scores on the right. Alisson Vega, you're the Golden Boot winner tonight. So before we get to the final award and announce the Player of the Year as voted by you, the fans, it's only right we take a minute to acknowledge our Team of the Year. Now, if you direct your eyes up to the screen, you will see there that Salinas this year is the goalkeeper. Left back is Cafarata, perhaps a surprise there. The centre backs are Zubiata and Emerson, while Andia is the right back. The central midfielders are Goiven and Liate, well-deserved guys, rocks all year. The wingers, Elias and Helasco, perhaps surprises there, but well done, boys, well-deserved. Fry is, of course, your number 10, and there's little doubt that Vega is the striker of the year, though Galindo, I think you consider yourself unlucky. Anyway, guys, round of applause for this year's Sport Boys Team of the Year. Well done, boys. So now it's time for the final award of the evening. It's time to award the Golden Star for Player of the Year as voted by you, the fans. Now, there are just so many good players for us this year. It could be any one, honestly, of 5 or 6 guys. But this year, there can only be one, as there can only be one every year, of course. And with 37% of the vote, this year the winner is Emerson! So congratulations to Emerson and all the winners. Maybe you'll be a little bit less likely to leave us now, Emo. So you loved him, mate. You don't need MLS. You're much better off with us. So congratulations to him and, as I said, the rest of the winners. But that is it for this evening. It's been a stunning year. We will be back for the 2028 season, and we will be gunning for a South American trophy, as well as perhaps a three-peat. Who knows what we could achieve with you behind us. So thank you to everybody in the auditorium. Thank you to you at home. And we'll see you all next season. Enjoy your evening, everybody. So there we go, end of season awards done for another year. Now let me know what you think in the comments. There's a few surprises in there for me, especially down this left side of our team of the year. I mean, Elias, come on. Come on. Anyway, for those of you who are a little bit more visual in your learning, let's go through and have a quick look now. Emerson, as I said, was player of the year, just ahead of Vasco Fry and Vega in the voting there. Vasco Fry got given goal of the season. We have our own goal of the season contest. We'll get to that in just a second. But his wonder goal against Minucci was what the game gave as goal of the season. Liate, signing of the year on a free transfer. Very difficult to argue that, I think. And then Blacido was the young player of the year. Look at the stats. Vega was top goal scorer with 17. Salinas, top average rating at 704. Andia, most assists at 13. Best pass completion was Salinas. Most player of the game awards, man of the match awards, we don't give this out on the night, but a three-way split for 5 men of the matches between Andia, Fry, and Vega. That is 15 men of the matches between them. Really, really good. Tassio had most yellow cards, but it was Miguel Martinez that got the golden card on the night because he had he had 4 yellow cards, 1 red card, and I gave to break the tie. I usually count a red card as 2 yellows, but I figure red card's worth more, isn't it, in a tie break? So Miguel Martinez won the award on the night for most bookings. Now this has happened. I suspected it would do, but we will not be getting a new training facility, which is a little bit disappointing, to be honest. I thought we could get that. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the squad, see how everything stacks up at the end of the year here. Most appearances, it was Salinas. It's always been Salinas, hasn't it? Vega, he is wanted now. It was always a risk of it happening. Deportivo Atlas, which is a Mexican team. I don't think he has a release clause. Please don't have a release clause. Minimum release clause of 1 million. So he does have a release clause, but too, if we get £1 million for him, it'll hurt us. But we'll just about take that, won't we? You can see all the biggest, all the people who played most there. Goals. I mean, it was Vega just ahead of Galindo in the end, with Fry in third, and then we had some good players chipping in as well. You know, Blacido, who's also wanted. Who's he wanted by? Loans. That's not a problem. Fernando Perez, good a few. Martinez with a few from midfield. Castro's a little bit quiet this year. He was, of course, the Golden Boot winner last year. Halasco did okay, didn't he, from the right wing. Tassio, Liate as well. Emerson, Goiven, a lot of players chipping in. I was really, really happy with that. Most assists, we know it was Andia that got the most, but Vega chipping in with assists as well as goals. He really is invaluable to us, isn't he? As is Vasco Fry. Blacido as well, chipping in with assists. Cosio, Martinez, Galindo with a few assists as well, and Bizu. So from the right wing, we had 17 assists from right back, which is just insane. And then average rating. Now, I'm not quite sure why the game gave this award to Salinas, because he's down there, but it did. But really, it should have been Andia's, and he was robbed on the night. Absolutely robbed on the night. And you can see there, Fry, Blacido, Big Willie D, all the way down to sort of Miguel Martinez. They all averaged above 7, which is really, really good. Actually, no, it was Marco Ramos, our backup goalkeeper, that averaged above 7 as well. Yeah, so really, really promising stuff there. Now, the one thing to sort of show how good Andia's season was, if we go back down here to some of the end-of-season awards for the league, new record high. So we had a high finish, which was good to see. Andia actually set a new club record with his average rating. So, yeah, again, that's just for the Copa Movie Star. It doesn't include the Libertadores, but still... really, really good stuff from him. And then if we go back up here, Andia was actually named Player of the Year for the Peruvian First Division, or the Copa Movie Star. So that's amazing. And Fry was runner-up in that. I was Manager of the Year. So thank you. And a couple of players in the Squad of the Year, Team of the Year as well. Salinas, Andia, and Emerson all made that team as well. So we've had a good year, haven't we? We have had a good year. So to wrap up what's been a good year, what we're going to do now is go and vote on our goal of the season. Now, if you're new to the channel, haven't been through this before, there'll be the Vasco Fry. At the end, there'll be a little eye at the top of the screen there. Just click on that and you'll be able to vote for your favourite. Fry will be one of those. And then there'll be 3 others that I've deemed worthy of the title of Goal of the Season for the 2027 season for Sport Boys. But we can't just have a look at that. We're going to begin by having a look at a few honourable mentions. Some goals that are worth a second look, but maybe not a nominee for Goal of the Year. So enjoy the what is it called? I've lost it here. I've lost it. It's gone. Enjoy the honourable mentions. And then, of course, don't forget to vote for the favourite of your 4 nominees. top 4 goals from the 2027 season, don't forget to vote for your favourite. So there we go, some stunning strikes, and as I said, don't forget to click the eye if it's still there, or go back and click the eye and vote for your favourite one of the. You can vote for the 4 nominees. So what do we do now? Now we go through and we play off season. Now it's not going to take long because it's December 22nd already, but we've got to look at what we can do here. Now, thankfully, the interest in Emerson appears to have gone away, which is fine. Tassio is still wanted by teams in Chile, and I think is that Mexico. Nigros, I'm not sure. He doesn't have a release fee though, so that's a good thing. We can sort of bargain for him. If we look at other players here that are wanted, as we said, Vega has a £1 million release fee. If we get £1 million for him, fair enough. If not, we'll survive. Bizu is wanted on loan. We'll be able to see that off. That's not a problem. Placido, as we said, is wanted on loan. Not a problem. Zubiate is wanted as a transfer. Now, I don't think he has a release fee. He's someone, to be honest, he didn't quite live up to expectations this season. Last year, he was, like our first year at the club, I thought he was quite good. Technically, this year was better. Well, my impression was that he didn't do as well this year. But I tell you what, if we can get some money in for him, I wouldn't necessarily be against letting him go, because we have some good youngsters coming through, some good young defenders. Down here, we have Doi, who's quite good, and also Wong. They're not far off his level already, so if we can get some cash in and give these guys more game time, as I said, wouldn't be against doing that. Who else is wanted here? Acevedo. Now, his contract might even be up. Is it 20? He's here to next year. Again, if he's wanted if we can sell him, I wouldn't be against doing that. But that's, as things stand, all the players that are wanted. We know Liate has a release fee, and we know that Emerson does as well. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll play through, I'll come back when there's something to report. What am I trying to strengthen here? I don't really know, to be honest. We'll just see what happens. Just before we get to the transfers, a few records that were broken this year as well. Alison Vega, a new goal-scoring record, single-season goal-scoring record with his 17. He beats Rolando Castro's effort from last season. So we do score some goals. Andy's 13 assists is a new record, breaking his own record of 8. Almost, well, not quite doubling it, but adding sort of 50% onto that, which is quite good. Record for man of the matches as well. Andy, although there was 5 of them, he got there first, so that's why he gets the record ahead of Fernando Perez, again from last year. And Salinas breaks his own clean sheet record, 18 clean sheets this year. Last season he had 12, but I think last year we got him about halfway through last year, didn't we? So, records are being set, guys. Records are being set. Alright, there is trouble in paradise. What I did, given that there was interest in Vega and he had a £1 million release clause, I offered him out for $1 million, because if we're going to lose him, we need to lose him so we can have time to replace him. So it's Boxing Day. Merry Christmas, everybody. There's been a bid made for £1 million by Deportivo Atlas, and I mean it's in the hands of the gods now. But we may be going to lose Vega. But like I say, I offered him out because if we're going to lose him, we need to know we're going to lose him. Could we offer him a new contract? Perhaps. What would he want? He doesn't want to stay. So it's one of these things that hurts now. But if he's going to leave, we need to know he's going to leave. And I think it'll be a good thing. We'll be able to replace him. Do we replace him with another striker or with a winger? We'll have to see what's available. What I did want to bring you back for, though, also, is a little bit better news, is the commercial summary, because I always find this interesting. So sponsorship this year was up, which is good. The actual, for this coming season, there's a new sponsorship deal, I should say. Everything else here looks like it was good. Everything else was up. Much income was up. Broadcast services were up. Competition prize money was up. And the shirt sales. This is my favorite. I don't know why it was my favorite commercial summary thing anyway. Vega was the most popular shirt, so we're going to piss off a few fans if he does leave. Emerson, Galindo, Salinas, and Castro, all very predictable. Castro, given he's a youngster as well, he came through our system. But 262 grand was made from shirt sales. About 10%, which seems to be standard from, it was non-domestic. just under 6,000 shirts sold. So all very interesting stuff. But yeah, we could have seen the last of Vega as a sport boy. It's not good transfer news, unfortunately. He's left. Alisson Vega has gone to Mexico for £1 million. He was great while he was here. I mean, if he was going to leave, it's better he leaves now. We have time to replace him. We signed him 2 seasons ago for £11,000. £11,000. He's left 2 years later for £1 million. He was brilliant for us. We're going to miss him. God knows we're going to miss him. But, I mean, it's done now. Should I have offered him out? I just feel like if he was going to leave, it's better he just left. We got the money in and we can look to replace him. We do have an in. It doesn't quite, unfortunately, match up to the out. But Pedro de la Cruz is a midfield option for us. Got him in on a free transfer, which is fantastic. Just 1.1 grand a week. Quite good physically. Passing's good. Technique's good. Vision's good. Off the ball. I mean, he's going to be a good player for us. Let's not beat around the bush. We got him in from Lima. Let him go. As Alianza Lima let him go. You can see he's been around the division for a while on loan and at Alianza Lima. He's done okay. I think he'll do well for us. But as I said, given the circumstances, yeah, it's not doesn't really make up for Vega leaving, does it? But we've got the cash in now. We've got a little bit of extra money to spend. We'll go and hunt and we'll try and find someone to replace Vega. I'm thinking we have Vasco can play down the left wing okay. Galindo can play up top. Rolando Castro can play up top. Placido can play the number 10. So I'm thinking we kind of want... I don't know if we want to get an out-and-out left winger in. I don't think we do. I think what we want is someone who can play left wing or up front. Sort of pretty much what Vega did. So I think that's the sort of player I'm going to go after. We'll see if we can get someone in. Hopefully so. Otherwise, we're going to be a very much weakened team next season. Alright, we have another signing to announce, and this is a sneaky little pickup. Willie Vega, we've got on a free transfer, only paying him £350 a week. But look at this, as I said, sneaky little pickup. Vision, work rate, teamwork's all good. Passing, first touch is good. Match the mentals are good there. He's not going to be a first team player, but just as someone to sort of back up in midfield. £350 a week, as I said. Unambitious, so, you know, you probably want to stick around. He's not going to look to go anywhere. I think it's a sneaky little pickup. We got him he was released by Melgar. Yeah, scouts found him, so I thought, yeah, let's go for him. So Willie Vega, I think he'll do okay. So we have some good news and we have some bad news. The good news is that we have signed 2 players. We'll start with the minor one. This is one that's been in the works for a little while. We had to wait for them to turn 18. It's a Brazilian fullback there, so they're not going to necessarily fit in the team right now because of foreign player limits. But decent enough physically, decent enough mentally. They'll be in the reserves. Hopefully they'll develop there. If they do, fantastic. If they don't, then we'll look to sell them on. We got them on a free, so it's sort of nothing to lose there. And then we have the big one. This is our replacement for Alisson Vega. He's not as good, I understand that, but it's Lionel Saravia, an Argentinian striker that can play on the left. He can also play on the right. He's right-footed, though, so he's not quite as good. To be honest, he was the best we could get that was affordable. You can see we're paying him 4.5 or 4.5 grand a week. We got him for 215,000, which is pretty good, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see how he goes. Good dribbling, good finishing, composure's okay, passing's okay. He's not as good physically as Vega, nowhere near as good physically as Vega was. But again, he kind of meets the requirements. He can play up front, he can play on the left. The other guy I was looking at, I don't know if it'll still be here in transfers. Is it still going to be here in transfers? No, but while we're here, this is the bad news. The bad news is Salinas. Pachuca came in with a bid. We started at 5 million. We went down to 4 million. They weren't willing to negotiate on that. And now he's unhappy, basically. He wants to leave. He's handed in a transfer request, so we can see the clubs are lining up here for him. In a way, the more clubs that come in, the better we might be able to get a bid for him. Now, I'm not as concerned about Salinas as I was about other players. Because if you remember, we had a wonder kid goalkeeper coming through it in our last youth intake. So we have Ramos, who's not Salinas, but he's good. But we do have, where is he here? We've already called him into the first team. Let's just do this so it's easier to find him. Here it is here, Roberto Parati. He is an absolute, he's 60, he's an absolute gun. Almost as good as, not quite as good as Salinas already, but potentially even better. So yeah, I'm not as concerned about him leaving. We wouldn't necessarily need to replace him. We would just have cash. So that's a good thing. Now I just want to see if I can find the other person we were looking at to replace Vega. Okay, here he is. I did find him. Michael. Now he was better, and this was who I wanted to sign. The transfer fee wasn't a problem. He had a release fee. I think we had a bid accepted for about 200,000. It's not going to say right there, but it was about 200,000. The problem was his wages. He wanted 7.5 grand a week, and we could. I can't remember if we could. This is a lie. This is an absolute lie. Because if it was that, we could have got him. His wages were too much. We couldn't get him. Yeah, so that's a bit of a shame because he was bordering on Alisson. Not as good finishing, but his physicals were there, and he was a good player. The other person we did have a look at to replace him was we got him in on trial. Is he still here or has he moved on? He may have moved on by now. I thought we still had him here. No, maybe we don't. Anyway, he wasn't as good. I forget who it was now, but we've got. Oh, there he's in the first team. That's right. We played him with friendly to starter. So it was this guy. He was good physically. He just lacked composure. I don't know. Maybe we should have got this guy instead. But anyway, we didn't. We didn't get him. So we have our replacement. Everybody, all hail Lionel Cervera, because he is the new Vega, hopefully. Alright, I have splashed the cash. I wasn't convinced Cervera was the replacement we needed for Vega. So I've gone and I found somebody who I think actually is. Uriel Rojas. He's Peruvian. He's left-footed, which meets that criteria. He's pacey. He's really, really good physically. He's got good finishing. I think I have found the new Vega. He's not really a natural out there just yet, but we'll train him on that. That's fine. He's competent right now. Let me know what you think, but I think Uriel Rojas, we paid 450,000 for him, which is a bit of a chunk of change. He had been playing in Chile. We got him from Cantalao. Now, that's where we got Salinas from. So if he's anything like the success Salinas has been, we'll be very, very happy. But I'm more satisfied now that we found the new Vega. I think now we're strengthened. Cervera is going to be a good option that can play as a striker, as an either side winger, or as a number 10. Still really glad we have him, but this is the man, isn't it? Uriel Rojas. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I think he could be a star. You can see what we're paying him there. Wages they're quite reasonable, 1.5 grand a week. Relatively high on the wages, but to be honest, if he scores 20, 30 goals, he earns the money. So I'm more than happy to pay him. I was going for a second signing here as well. I was really splashing the cash, but this guy didn't come off. We ran out of money. I wasn't really paying attention to the transfer budget, if I'm honest. I was just signing players. He would have been nice to have, but to be honest, did we need him? Probably not. I was just getting a little bit what's like retail therapy, but for football managers. But we've got Uriel Rojas, and I think now we might be done. So we have a minor signing to announce. It's just a loan signing. Jonathan Lopez. We got him from Alianza Lima on loan. Not paying that much of his wages, only 375 grand a week, but as sort of a backup / might even be a first choice by the end wingback. Quite pacey, which I like. I mean, he's no worse sort of getting forward than the other players that we have, Cafarata and Cosio. But I think it's the pace that I like in the acceleration. I think he could do a really, really good job for us down that left wing. And it's an option. It's a loan signing, potentially quite good. You know, if we get him in and we like him, we can maybe try and poach him more permanently. But yeah, that's a good one. And then just a couple of outs I just want to clean up here. We've just been doing a bit of squad tidying up. So Paul Martinez has left the club, central defender. You remember we signed him on a free last season. We didn't really use him. He's gone out to Minucci for 12 grand. Avocado, with the central midfielders that we did sign, he was going to become surplus to requirement. So we sold him to a newly promoted team for 65,000. And Zubiata, yeah, I don't think we were going to use him. He wasn't developing. We have good young central defenders coming through. Him being there was just going to get in their way. So 150 grand, which is a nice fee. for someone we didn't particularly want to use anymore. Yeah, so he's out the door as well. So good money coming in for players that I don't think we were going to use. I'm not expecting any more signings now, but you never know. Okay, we are at, it's game day. The first game of the season is today. So our transfer special comes to an end. Yeah, I mean, well, this is where it is right now. We know that we lost Vega, 1 million to Mexico. It was a disappointment. But we only got him, I've been trying to console myself. We only got him because he had that release fee. We probably wouldn't have got him otherwise. So good luck to him. He was a fantastic player for us, but unfortunately he goes. But the ins, let's have a quick reminder of the ins. It's Pedro de la Cruz on a free transfer from Alianza Lima. That's a stunning signing. I'm really, really happy with that one. Willie Vega on a free transfer as well. Again, a good, solid signing for us, young player. Mako, not one for this year. He's Brazilian. He's a foreign player. He's in the reserves. Hopefully he'll develop, and if not, again, it was a free transfer. We can let him go. Lionel Saravia, this was our first attempt to replace Alisson Vega. Obviously, it was never going to happen at the first attempt, but he's done okay in pre-season, let me tell you. He's looked okay. So we've got Saravia. Then Uriel Rojas, this is the man that is going to replace Vega. I think he'll do really, really well for us. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I think attribute-wise, we've almost replaced him as close as we were ever going to get, I think. So you can see him there compared to Vega. Dribbling he's not quite as good dribbling and finishing, but he's not bad. It's finishing is actually bad on par. So yeah, he's learning the role to play on the wing, and he'll do a good job there. And then Jonathan Lopez, again, I think a good sneaky signing this one on loan as well. But I think he's borderline first choice as the left wing back, to be honest. Now, what's happening with Salinas, I hear you ask? It's not good news. It's really, really not good news. Where do we start? Okay, so basically he's unhappy. He wants to. The clubs that were coming in were making offers of like 300,000-400,000. I think it never even got to 500,000, which is for a player of Salinas's quality an insult, in my opinion. So I initially was asking 5 million. I went down to 4. I went down to 3. I spoke to him, and he wanted to be sold for about 500,000, which wasn't good enough. It was like, we want more money than that for Salinas. So eventually, he was upset. He's not talking to me now. You can see we're basically not on talking terms. A couple of the squad came to me and said, why are you sort of blocking his move? And I said, well, because we'll be worse without him. And they said, okay, that's fair enough. Thanks, boss. But basically, it got to the point where we were going to have to sell him. And then this bid came in from Fluminense in Brazil, 1.1 million. It started off at 700,000. I was just like, oh, this is it, isn't it? This is the one that we're going to have to accept. So 1.1 we got it up to, which is fine, I guess. He is only valued at 300,000. So I would have liked to I was hoping they'd negotiate and then I could get like a clause in there as well. So do 1.1 plus a clause for the club in the future. But that's what's happening. We're waiting on him basically now to accept their contract. So there we go. We're not going to look to replace him because, as I said, we do have Roberto Paradi. He's already a 3-star goalkeeper, potentially a 5-star. We're just going to give him a chance. Ideally, I wouldn't want a 16-year-old in goal for our Libertadores campaign, but that's kind of where we're at. We're not going to get... This is the thing, because Salinas isn't foreign, because he's Peruvian, we're not going to get a better Peruvian keeper, or not much of a better Peruvian keeper than Paradi anyway. And a season or two, Paradi's going to be the best option, so we're just going to put him in early. It'll be a sink or swim, and hopefully he swims. But yeah, so that's where we're at there. So let's have a quick look at the squad that we have. And this is it. Obviously, as I said, the transfer window is still opened. But this is... I'm not planning on making any other signings. So this is that team that we have. The strikers, we have Surveyor. Really, really good striker, let me tell you. He's done well. Rojas as well can play up front, but we'll probably look to use him more on the left. Maybe if we go 2 up top, he'll get a game. Rolando Castro, we've had him for it since we got here. He's a really good young player. He scores goals when he gets his chance. Galindo as well, let's not forget about him. That gives us 4 really good striking options. With Ramos, again, one of the youngsters, he does okay when he plays. He's listed for loan. He went out on loan last year. We might look to loan him out again, but he's a 5th option there if we need him. On the right, we have Fernando Perez, though I don't expect to see too much of him this year. We have other options that are younger and better, I think. Velasco will be one of the main guys on the right. Aguirre, or however you pronounce that, one of the youngsters, will look to give him a little bit more game time this season, I think. He's got high potential. Surveyor, we know, can play out there, and will do so, I'm sure, on occasion, as can Galindo. Galindo can play out on the right wing, so we'll use them out there if and when we need to. On the left, we have Hurpaya. Decent enough, though. Personality is slack. I don't actually think he'll play that often. Vasco Fry is an option to play out there, and a good option to play out there as well. Galindo, again, can play out there, though I don't expect to see him out there too much. Surveyor, he'll be out there, I think, but this is the main guy, Rojas. He's the guy we've brought in that can do a job, and I think will do a good job out there for us. And the other one that doesn't even really show up as an option right now, but potentially is really good, Elias. Team of the Year, let's not forget, last year, and developing all the time. And I think he may actually even be sort of second choice behind Rojas. The number 10 role, we have good options in here. We have Blacado, who's done really well whenever he gets a chance in there. Vasco Fry, who will start the season as first choice. And John Curry as well, a young player who's developing all the time into a good player. And we have Galindo, Surveyor, other options that can play in there. Deeper in midfield, some good options here as well. De La Cruz, one of the new boys, good option in there. As is Goiven. We know all about Goiven, what he can do. Never lets us down. Mongolan as well, solid as a rock. Miguel Martinez, again, just good, solid, never lets us down. Placido can play back in there, but unlikely that he'll play back there too much. He'll play the number 10 role. The more defensive side of midfield, Liate, he's developing all the time as a deep-lying playmaker. Really, really like him in there. Tassio can step in there if needed, though I think we'll use him more as an anchor man or in central defence. Willy Vega, another one of the new boys, can do a good job in there. And John Curry can, again, step back if we need him to. Defence, central defence, we know Emerson. We did keep Emo, so that's a good thing. The MLS interest fell away. He's happy. So that's a good news day for everybody there. Tapamula is again a good solid, poor man's Emerson really, but he'll be good depth in there. Tassio I think will be a first choice centre back along with Emerson for most of the year. Cosio, I think we have some options at left wing back with Lopez coming in. I think there's a good centre back in there as well. So we might look to use him there a couple of times this year. Big Willie D, we know what he can do in centre of defence. Not developing as I would have hoped, but a good option nonetheless. Liate can step back in here, though technically he's not a defender, so unlikely to do so. The two youngsters, now these are the guys I was happy to sell Zubieta for, because we know that Doi, a good young prospect, and Wong as well, good young prospects at centre-back, so we'll give them game time if we need to. Not afraid to play them at all. Cosio as a sort of the first choice left wing-back, I think he's already fighting off Lopez for that spot, and of course Cafaretta is another good option to play there. Again, season team of the season, let's not forget. And Carrillo, again, a youngster that was out on loan last year. He's fourth choice now. We'll probably look to send him back out on loan. I don't think he's going to have a future here, to be honest. The right wing, Emerson's not playing there. The main options here, we have Andia. Again, it was Peruvian Player of the Year, First Division Player of the Year from right back last year. So he's a really, really good option there for us. As is Bizu, a good backup, foreign player, but there's not really any other options to play right wing back right now. The other option we do have coming through is Pacheco. Not quite there yet. Doesn't really get forward well enough, but there is potentially a good player there, so we'll give him a chance if we need to. Goalkeeping, Salinas is there right now. It's probably the last time we'll see him in a Sport Boys shirt, to be honest. I don't think will be here by the time we come back. Parati, we rest our hopes on him, a 16-year-old. It worked for Iker Casillas and Real Madrid. Could it work for Roberto Parati and Sport Boys? And of course, the backup will be Ramos. He was backup for Salinas, and I thought he would step in and take over from him eventually, but it looks like he's destined to be number 2, unfortunately, for him at Sport Boys, because Parati has come in and overtaken him already. But a good, solid backup option for us this season. But guys, that's it. That is it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, make sure you hit thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you don't upload new episodes. And we'll be back tomorrow to get the season... Not tomorrow, sorry, on Monday. Enjoy your weekends. We'll be back on Monday to get the season underway. We'll have a look at who we drew in the Copa Libertadores group stage as well. That draw's taking place, but we'll show that on Monday's episode. So until then, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave your comments too about the end of season awards. Don't forget to vote for goal of the season, and I'll see you Monday. Take care.